All right, so let's move on. So, so far we have an object that will change color when we run into it. It's rotating, and we can do all kinds of really cool things with this. But one of the things I want to show you now is basically so far when we run this, we have been staying in the editor, and let's take it out of the editor for now. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit save scenes here. So it's saved. And let me show you how you can actually create let's call it a standalone editor or a standalone program. Now, the important thing I want you to remember is this is not, and I repeat, this is not how you turn in your files. We're going to go over that later after I tell you about the assignment, which is going to be in a little bit. Not in this video. So let me show you how you create an executable. The reason why you want to do that is, well, if you want to give a person your game, and either A, you don't want them to be able to edit it, or B, you don't want them to have to install Unity. So, you could send this to mom, say, hey mom, look what I made it. Look what I made in class. They can run it on their computer. She can run it on her computer, whatever. Mom, grandma, whatever. So here's how you do this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go up here to File, and then you go down here to Build Settings. So you can click on that. All right, so that's going to pop up in a window. It says Build Settings. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to add in some scenes that we're running. So I'm going to hit Add Open Scenes. All right, so the first one is first, right? Well, that's kind of obvious. And click back down here to Project. And I'm going to drag in our island scene here as well. I'm going to put it in the second position. All right, order matters because this one up here at the top will always be the first one run. All right. You'll also notice here on the right-hand side we have 0 and 1 as well. All right. This is the scene index, just so you know. All right. So over here under platform, we need to select which platform we're running on. We're going to do this PC, Mac, and Linux standalone. The universal Windows platform would be the one that we would do for the Xbox One as a consumer. The Xbox One down here is only for people who actually have a dev kit and all that stuff and have a license, so we don't have that. Same thing for Vita and PS4. Those, we can't do that. All right. Let's go ahead and go over here for target platform. So right now I have it set to Windows because that's what I'm running on. If you installed Mac or Linux, you could select it in there as well. The architecture, we're going to leave this alone. Right now it should say x86_64. There is just a plain x86. That means it will be a 32-bit application. Unless you really know that you need to run on 32-bit, do not change this. Because if you are on 64-bit, you get basically access to more memory. All right, so we're going to leave this other stuff alone for now. All right, and we're going to hit Build. All right, so it's going to ask you where do you want to store this. You're not allowed to store it in assets. It'll actually tell you, so don't do that. So I'm going to click on Desktop, and we're going to put it on my desktop so it's easy to see where it goes. So I'm going to name this Tutorial. All right, I'm going to hit Save on that, and it's going to start working on my project. So it may take a little bit of time. So we just have to wait for it. If you do this once and then edit some stuff and then come back and do it again, typically it will be a little bit faster, mainly because it's already computed a lot of the stuff that it needs to do. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because we need to point out a few things that we need to fix, basically. All right, so this is going to take a little bit of time here. Just let it sit. So yeah. Here we go. It's almost done. The bigger your game, also the longer this is going to take as well. At this point is the point where you ask, how about that local sports team and or weather, right? Excuse me. It's that awkwardly long amount of time, right? All right, there we go. So, if we actually, yeah, I know it opened the desktop, but if we look on our desktop here, you'll see a few files. All right, first one is the tutorial data. So this is the name of the program underscore data folder. So you're going to need that. The executable file right here. So this is what we run. And unityplayer.dll. This is an important file as well. So you need all three of these files to run your game. So if you're going to give it to somebody, give them all three of these files, and then you run tutorial, or the name of the file, the program .exe here. So we have this. Have you seen another game that looks like this? Yes, this is the default Unity kind of startup page here. So we can set all this stuff here. You select things like resolution, graphics quality. We didn't set this up, so it's just always going to run the same. And which monitor, if you're running multiple monitors. I have two monitors. One of them you can't see right now. So we're going to run on this monitor here, the display. So I'm going to hit play on here. Yes, you'll have that message until you pay money to it to have it removed. So, all right. So, our game is running here. Things work. It's full screen, bouncy stuff there. And hey, look, it turned purple for like a frame, and we can run into that. But we kind of run into an issue, haven't we? So how do we switch scenes? Well, we can't do that right now because we haven't written that functionality. Okay, well, let's get out and write that functionality. How do we get out? Escape doesn't work, right? I mean, we could Alt-Tab out, but we actually have to do Option Fn F4. To Alt F4 out of our program because we have no way of exiting our game right now. All right, so we have to write that functionality. So let's start off here. We're going to go back here to Unity. Now we're going to close this out. You don't have to hit anything to save your changes. It's already done that for us. So we're going to close this out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another object here because I want this as a separate thing. I don't want to have to bring that block around everywhere we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new object. I'm going to create 3D object, and I'm just going to dump it on a cube here because, yeah. So I'm going to bring that cube forward here. All right, so this is our magical cube, and I'll grass color it so it's kind of different. All right, so let's go ahead and add a component, and we're going to go down here and add component, and then we're going to go down to new script, and we're going to call this one transporter. Hit enter, so it creates a script and it adds it to our object. So we could double click on it up here, we can double click on it down here, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's go ahead and do some stuff. So I'm going to go to the end right here between the last two curly braces, and we're going to write some code that allows us to run into an object and switch, right? All right, let's go ahead and do that. Let's switch scenes, because why not, right? So it's pretty easy. It's just like the collision detection last time. OCE, again, on collision enter, we can do that. All right. So if we collide with this, we want to be transported to the other stage. All right, or the other scene. So I'm going to show you two ways. The first is the old and busted way of doing it. Now, the reason why I'm showing that is because eventually this will stop working. Basically, they've been warning us for at least a year that this is going to stop working sometime in the future. And the reason I'm showing this is so you can see what it is and then how to fix it. All right? So, here's what we're going to do. Here's the old and busted way of doing it. So we're going to do capital A application. All right, application dot capital L for load level. All right, so it's going to ask us either an index or the title or the name. All right, so in this case, we're going to switch to the second one, which is actually index number 1. Computers like to count from 0 first, and that's the way it is. So we're going to choose the first one there. So I'm going to hit semicolon at the end here. And you'll notice it's not the angry red line. It's a kind of cheesed off green line, I guess, right? So we hold over. It says, really what it says here, it says depreciated. And basically what it means is it's going away after a while. It says application.loadLevelInt is obsolete. Use sceneManager.loadScene. All right. So it's saying, yeah, you should fix this because it's going to stop working soon. All right, so I'm going to save this so we can see it running. All right, so I hit Control S, and we're going to go back here to our code, and we're going to run, or to Unity, and we're going to run it. Now, the part of the reason why this is going to work is because we went and created that executable and put our scenes in. All right, so I'm going to go here, and we're going to run into it. Doink, and it switched to the other one. Cool. Now, if we want to get back, we have to have another one of those. Go back to the other one. Also, you're noticing that the lighting is a little weird here, and that's because we haven't built lighting. One of the things we're going to show you here in a little bit is how to build lighting, because it's trying to do it semi-real time. Let's be stupid. All right, so I'm going to turn this off, and we want a way to get back, don't we? I'm going to actually rename this cube from cube 1 to transporter. Transport block. So it's easy to understand. All right. So we've done that. You know what? Let's go ahead and go to the other scene. Let's see, is this saved? No, it's not. Let's save that. Save scenes. All right, so we're going to jump back. We're going to jump to the island, and we're going to add one of these as well. So, yeah, we're actually underneath the water right now. That's cool. So let's go here to their multi-purpose camera rig. That's cool. And I'm going to go over here, and we're going to add, you know what? We're going to add the script to the sound block, right? Because sure, why not, right? So I'm just going to drag this on here. I can drag this over here and have it add it to it, or I could just, drag it onto the object, or I could hit add a component and go into the scripts and do that as well. So any way we decide to do this, it's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a try. So I'm going to drop back over, I'm going to save this, Control S, and go back to the first one, and we're going to hit run on that, or hit play on that, and then we're going to go over here to our block. Doink. It's going to transport us here. All right, let's go across the way over here. Hey, it reset us. Do that, so it's not gonna. Okay. Mute audio. So you'll notice that even though it's there, it's resetting to the beginning here. And why is that? Well, it's because if we look at our code, it's always loading the first one. And we'll get back to that in a second. But we need to fix this problem here first. All right, so that's actually pretty easy. So we have a choice of things. So sometimes if we go down here and hit show potential fixes, it will fix it for us. Not this time, unfortunately. So what we have to do is, here's how we fix this. All right, so it's saying you should use scene manager.load scene. Okay, well, let's try that. So you're noticing here that it's being kind of angry here. It's giving me the red squiggly line, and it didn't help me along the way. That is because it doesn't know what the scene manager is. It's going, I don't understand this. It does not. Scene manager does not exist in the current context. So it's going, I don't know. So what's happening is we're missing a using here. So I could go up here and do the right one, the Unity scene management. But I could also hover over this and go to show potential fixes, and it'll actually show me a list of things that it could do here. And really, this is one of them that I could use, and it'll pop the thing at the top, or I could go down here and it would fix it on this line. But let's do this one here. So it's doink. Now we have that. It says Unity engine.scene management. All right. So this is the new hotness here, right? So I can disable this now, right? So the old and busted and the new hotness. All right, so it works the same. I'm going to save this and, well, let's go ahead and run it real quick. Might as well, right? Run into it, twink. See, it works. All right, so let's go ahead and fix the second problem of it. It's always taking us back to the beginning of the island scene, right? Well, let's make it do something that we want. All right, so what we need to do is we need to have a variable that allows us to choose or set where we want to go. So I'm going to do a public int. I'm going to call it where to go. I know you have great places to tell me where to go. So, all right, so I'm going to copy this and I'm going to replace the one here with where to go. All right, so you would do that here as well if you wanted to. So I'm going to save this. All right. And if I go back here to Unity and I'm going to click on the transport block, you're going to notice where to go now. Our transporter has a where to go number. So right now it's set to 0. Let's set that to 1 because we're going to go to the second scene. All right, I'm going to save that, Control S, and go to the island. And we're going to click on that and scroll down here. So it says where to go 0. That's cool because we're going to go back to the beginning, right? All right, so let's run that. Actually, let's go back to the first scene here. Save that. Run it. Doink. Takes us to the new scene. Doink. And there we go. We're back. All right. Again, you'll notice the lighting's kind of weird. It's because I haven't built the lighting. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. This only takes a second. So what you have to do is you go here to Windows, or to Window, and we're going to go down here to Lighting, and then we're going to go to Settings. So that's Window, Lighting, Settings. All right, we're going to click on that, and it's going to open up a new window. Well, it should eventually. So that will open a new window when it decides to. I'm going to pause the video, get it to load the window for us, and I'll be right back.